Welcome to this brief session on maximum minimum of functions. Suppose we have a function f of x which is continuous and differentiable in some interval, say a comma b. Now you can see that these are relative maxima and these are relative minima. From the theory of mean value theorems, we can easily derive a few conditions. Necessary condition for f of x to have a maximum or minimum is f dash x is equal to 0 at the points where fx takes extreme values. So the necessary condition is that the first derivative of the function should be equal to 0 at the points where the function takes extreme values. This means the points where it attains maximum or minimum. All of us know f dash x is equal to 0 means tangents at those points are parallel to the x-axis. When it comes to the sufficient conditions for existence of maximum or minimum, there are generally three aspects: f double dash x greater than 0 at a relative minimum, f double dash x less than 0 at a relative maximum, and f double dash x is equal to 0 and f triple dash x not equal to 0 at an inflection point. All of us know an inflection point is a point where the curve neither bends in a concave way nor a convex way. That means the function appears to be a straight line at that particular point. So it is with this background that we can approach problems on maxima and minima of functions of single variable. So let us now look at some illustrations. Question number 1. The maximum value of f of x is equal to x cubed minus 9x squared plus 24x plus 5 in the interval 1, 6 is, the options are 21, 25, 41 and 46. So you know this is a polynomial function. A polynomial function, as all of us know, is continuous and also differentiable. So let's follow the systematic procedure. First take the first derivative and also the second derivative. You set f dash x is equal to 0 for critical points. So when this quantity is equal to 0, you get x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0, giving x is equal to 2 or 4. So we'll have to analyze what happens to the second derivative at these two critical points. So let us calculate f double dash 2 and f double dash 4. So this becomes 12 minus 18, which is minus 6, and this is 24 minus 18, which is 6. Since we are talking about the maximum value, we go for that. So this condition specifies that at x is equal to 2, the function has got a relative maximum. So let us substitute x is equal to 2 in this function. So we get 8 minus 9 4s 36 plus 48 plus 5. So this becomes 48 plus 8 56 plus 5 61 minus 36, which is 25. So f max is 25, corresponding to option B. Question number 2. The function f of x is equal to 2x minus x square plus 3 has, there are 4 options: a maximum at x is equal to 1 and a minimum at x is equal to 5, a maximum at x is equal to 1 and a minimum at x is equal to minus 5, only maximum at x is equal to 1, only a minimum at x is equal to 5. So let's take the first and second derivatives. So you set f dash x is equal to 0 and you get 2 minus 2x is equal to 0, giving x is equal to 1. So there's only one critical point. And you can actually see, even without substituting x is equal to 1 here, f double dash 1 will be negative. So a relative maximum at x is equal to 1. The option ends with only identifying whether there is a maximum or minimum. So you can clearly see option C is correct for this problem. Question number 3. Consider the function f of x is equal to x square minus 4 whole squared, where x is a real number. Then the function has, the options are only 1 minimum, only 2 minima, 3 minima, and 3 maxima. So you can either expand this and proceed, or you can directly differentiate. Suppose we directly differentiate. Let's take the first and second derivatives. 2 into x square minus 4 into 2x, which is the same as 4x cube minus 16x. The second derivative will be 12x squared minus 16. So you take f dash x is equal to 0 and you'll have 4x cube minus 16x is equal to 0. 4x into x square minus 4 is 0. So x is equal to 0, or x is equal to plus or minus 2. Let us substitute this in the second derivative. F double dash 0 will be minus 16. F double dash plus or minus 2 will be 12 into 4 minus 16. This is 48 minus 16, 32, which is greater than 0. So you can clearly see that there are two minima at x is equal to plus 2 and x is equal to minus 2. So we can say fx has two minima at x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 2. So option C is correct for this problem. Question number 4. For the function f of x is equal to x squared e power minus x, the maximum occurs when x is equal to, the options are 2, 1, 0 and minus 1. F dash x is 2x e power minus x minus x square e power minus x by the UV rule. F double dash x is equal to 2 e power minus x minus 2x e power minus x minus of 2x e power minus x minus x squared e power minus x. So we can write this as 2 minus 4x plus x squared into e power minus x. Now we take the first derivative equal to 0, from which we can take x e power minus x common. Then we'll have 2 minus x is equal to 0. We all know e power minus x cannot be 0. This implies x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 2 are the critical points. So let us submit both these values in the second derivative. F double dash 0. So this becomes 2 e power 0, which is 2, which is positive. So we see f double dash 0 is positive. So x is equal to 0 corresponds to a relative minimum in which we are not interested. F double dash 2 will be 2 minus 8 plus 4 into e power minus 2. This will be minus 2 e power minus 2, which is less than 0. Therefore, a relative maximum occurs at x is equal to 2. This corresponds to option A. Question number 5. This is basically a mean value theorem problem, but generally mean value theorems and the theory of maxima minima are inseparable. Therefore, we can accommodate in this segment. A function f of x is equal to 5x squared plus 10x is defined over an open interval 1, 2. At least at one point in this interval, dy by dx is exactly, the options are 20, 25, 30, 35. So, this is an application of the Lagrange's mean value theorem. What it says is, for at least one x belonging to the interval 1, 2, f dash x is equal to f of 2 minus f of 1 by 2 minus 1. So we can write this as dy by dx is equal to f of 2 will be 20 plus 20 minus f of 1 will be 5 plus 10 divided by 1. So this is 40 minus 15, which is 25. So that's exactly what the question is about. At least at one value of x in the interval, what is the estimate of dy by dx? So the correct option is B. Most of these questions that we have covered just now have appeared in the old GATE exams.